16, 16.4 or 16.4a, these are fundamental rights, or these are constitutional classification. These are decided by the constitution itself. And in P. Devadasan, there was a judgment in 1964. Justice K. Subbarao, as he then was, he gave a dissenting judgment, and which was approved in this N.M. Thomas case, State of Kerala versus N.M. Thomas in 75-76. And in that judgment, it was the view was taken that this is a constitutional classification, and it can't be said that it is enabling provision or exception. But when the Mandal recommendations were accepted by the government, after that Mandal's recommendation, when these were accepted, at that time the court has referred it to a larger bench, to a 9-judges bench. And initially the court was of the view that this reservation for backward classes is unconstitutional. But at the 9-judge bench, when they were to upset this Thomas case, they did not upset that case, and the constitutional classification principle was upheld by the Supreme Court. And because of that, now it become a express provision and a constitutional classification itself. So if it is a constitutional classification, then you cannot say that there will be limitations on that right, because those limitations even those were not available when this was exception. But our jurisprudence, our system, they have evolved in such a way that the limitations they are talk of in Indra Sani case. And in Indra Sani case, the majority judgment on this point was of 6 judges. First, the major judgment was by Justice Jeevan Reddy, and he has said in question 2A of Indra Sani that this is a constitutional classification. And this Jeevan Reddy judgment, he has taken a view that this is a constitutional classification, and this view was affirmed by 2 judges, Justice Sawant and Justice Pandian. Justice Sawant and Justice Pandian, and the 4 judges were with Justice Jeevan Reddy. So 6 judges have affirmed that view. And the dissenting view was of Justice T.K. Thoman from your state. He was a dissenting judge in para 284 of dissenting judgment. He has said that this is a enabling provision and this is a discretion. So this was his view, which was approved by the 2 dissenting judges, Justice R.M. Sahai and Justice Kuldeep Singh. So this was 6-3. So the problem is that if this is a constitutional classification or a fundamental right, if that is the case, then we have a right to claim this. But in Nagaraj, the court has taken a view that this is an enabling provision and a discretionary remedy. So thereafter, the UP judgment, because Mayawati has intentionally, she was against reservation, she was trying that reservation promotion should not be followed in UP. So she has put up the advocates of a nature who were against reservation for defending reservation. And that is the reason that in UP, for the first time, the case was decided in a way that throughout the country, the reservation was affected thereafter, and one by one, all states after 2012 said no reservation because it is our discretion. So the basic issue is that the backward classes and scheduled caste and scheduled tribe, they are similarly placed, and their condition are also similar. So far as their representation is concerned, that is also similar, because they are not adequately represented, and the scheduled caste, scheduled tribe also not adequately represented. And because the Brahminical forces, they are occupying all the slots. So they evolve one or the other criteria, so that the reservation should be scuttled down, and the reservation for OBC is not there. That's why they say that in this remaining portion, OBC and general, OBC and unreserved category, they are all unreserved category for that purpose. So in my view, till the constitution is amended and the reservation for OBC is specifically provided, or this Indra Sani judgment is reviewed, because to that extent I feel, even if there would have been no amendment, this is a restrictive interpretation of Article 16(4), because post and appointment, the word which is used in Article 16, that does not that does not say that you will not give a representation to them. So there should be representation to all kind of people, and the representation is essential, because in democracy every section of the society should be represented. So for OBC, I feel there should be reservation in promotion. That is one facet. Then the second facet is that Article 16(4), 16(4)(a), 16(4)(b) has to be read with Article 17, like Madam Indra Jaising has said, because the scheduled caste and scheduled tribe, they are facing large scale untouchability, and discrimination is there. They are facing everyday untouchability offenses, atrocities. So if they are facing, then you cannot equalize them. There have been examples where the scheduled caste who are highly placed, they have been discriminated, like the man who is occupying the position of president of India. He was not allowed to enter in a temple in Rajasthan, and the same president goes to Odisha. His wife was thus pushed, and there is both places the criminal cases are going on. If a person who rose up to the level of president of India, even he could not get the dignity, how you can think that the dignity, by just enjoying reservation, by getting one promotion or two promotion, you will get dignity and there will be no discrimination. So this will be a double-edged sword for the scheduled caste and scheduled tribe and backward classes, because they need representation at all levels. If they are not represented at all levels, then the real democracy can't come. Secondly, Justice Pandian, in his judgment in Indra Sani, has specifically said that this power coupled with duty principle would be applicable. Power coupled with duty principle means that this reservation is forcible. You can enforce this reservation. So Justice Pandian was part of the majority judgment. So if you are to apply the minority judgment, you have to refer it to larger bench. In the UP cases, as I was saying, after the first phase of the judgment, UP Power Corporation, in the second phase, some employees, they came to us, then we drafted the petition, and I said for the first time that this Nagaraj is constitutionally incorrect. Justice Deepak Misra said, no, we are not going to reopen it. 9 years have gone by, and you tell what we can reform in this. Whatever we can reform, only that you talk. You think that we will refer it to larger bench. We are not going to refer it to larger bench. And afterwards, in Himachal Pradesh, the Supreme Court has given direction for implementation of reservation promotion. And when it comes to the contempt petition, the Himachal Pradesh government has engaged Dr. Rajiv Dhawan, who is the main arguing counsel of anti-reservationist, saying that this is the power of the state government, and the state government has decided that we will not give reservation. And at that time, Congress was ruling in Himachal Pradesh. Thereafter, this Uttarakhand case. In Uttarakhand case, the data was available. Time Congress appointed one committee headed by a former chief secretary, with one vice chancellor, one principal secretary of the government, 3-member committee. They were appointed, they collected data, and 19% and 4% was the representation to be given, and the data was nowhere more than 10% in class 1, class 2, class 3, class 4. All positions the data was less. Likewise in Bihar, in 2011, they hold this data exercise, and the representation was much less. So the government which was ruling, Nitish Kumar was ruling, they appointed committee, the committee carried its exercise, they enforced that provision. The High Court 4 times decided that you can't enforce it because you are not complied the data. So the problem is not that the data is there or data is not there, because in Madhya Pradesh data is there, in Uttarakhand data is there, and it was decided by the US Supreme Court permitting reservation in promotion. That in US they follow this type of reservation, and in their constitution there is no provision like in our constitution. Even in their statute they don't have a specific provision providing for reservation or affirmative action. Only the equal protection, which is the word which has been interpreted by them, and because of that equal protection, they are giving all reservation at every level, even in the management, even in the corporate appointments and all those things. And in India, it is part of the constitutional scheme, but we are not getting it. Now the question is that the majority judgment in Indira Sani, whether this can be applied by Nagraj or Jarnail Singh, which are 5 judges bench, and Indira Sani is a 9 judge bench. So if Indira Sani is by 9 judges bench, it can be reviewed only by the 11 judges bench. Till the 11 judges bench say that this part of the judgment is constitutionally incorrect and we overrule that judgment, they cannot review it. They have to apply that principle. We are trying, because this adequacy principle, adequacy is part of the constitutional scheme. But if it is a fundamental right, then we have right to challenge it before court. Now they say that we do not have right to go in writ petition. The mandamus is not available to us. And the whole problem is that the basic issues which we are raising, the court is not answering those issues. And there are some reasons which I can't expressly say in this webinar, because I know so many things which I can't expressly say, because the other system will operate if I will say all those things. That's why I don't want to say all those things. Now there is a request for this reservation by Jats, Gujars, Patels, and Marathas. They are particularly dominant ruling caste, but they are also Sudras. If they are also Sudras, when it is suiting the Brahminical forces, they say that they are equal. But as soon as their part is satisfied, then they again say that you are Sudras, and they discriminate against them. So that's why I feel that the whole process which we are facing will be sorted out only if the constitutional principles which are expressly given in the constitution. It is a surprising situation where nobody is reading the constitutional provision. If we say that, my lord, read article 16(4)(a), then the judge will say, no, we know all that, but you just argue. So they are reading their own judgment like a statute. Their own judgment like a statute, they can't read it. And the principle of say adequacy, even if it is applicable in state of this R.K. Sabharwal versus state of Punjab, 1995 Supreme Court has said that post-based reservation should be applicable because vacancy-based reservation is giving advantage to the reserved category. And because of this, the post-based roster has been applied. But that principle could be useful if they follow the backlog vacancies. Whatever backlog is there, they should give backlog to the SC, ST and OBC, but they are not giving that backlog. So what is the use of this post-based roster? Because post-based roster means that you have to give them backlog vacancies, whatever you are not filling up today. Tomorrow, if candidate is available, it should be filled up by that candidate. And they are not giving that representation. That's why I feel that the vacancy-based roster should be restored. And this Article 16(4)(a), this is a constitutional mandate, the constitutional obligation under the scheme of the Constitution. And I feel this judgment in Mukesh Kumar versus state of Uttarakhand, or this Uttar Pradesh case, Suresh Chand Gautam versus state of UP, and Nagaraj case, they have to be referred to the larger bench, because this principle has to be settled by the Supreme Court. Till the Supreme Court settled this principle, we can't get justice, and everywhere the reserved categories, the members of the scheduled caste and scheduled tribe, they are not getting representation because of the court interference. And this 50% ceiling, which they have put by Article 16(4)(b) Constitution 81st Amendment Act 2000. Before that, this ceiling was not there in the Constitution. But despite this, they are giving the economic reservation. The economic reservation, and whenever you discuss anything, they will say the reservation should be on the basis of economic criteria. It could be on the basis of economic criteria if the discrimination is based on economic criteria. The discrimination is based on the basis of social parameters, social indignity is there. So the reservation has to be on the basis of social criteria. If the criteria is changed, the social conditions should also change, because we have to give them a platform. And if you examine it from that perspective, the representation of the scheduled caste and scheduled tribe and backward classes in the higher position is negligible. The data which we are having, or any state is having, is of at least 6-7 years older, and that data is of no relevance today, because those who were in the higher position, they have retired, because in higher positions people stay only for 2 years, 3 years, like that. So this consideration of data, and the consideration of data should be there, but it should be in a way that to benefit us. It should not harm our interest. And if you examine the Indra Sahni case says that that this is a constitutional classification. And so far as efficiency of administration is concerned, in the railways, there was a research conducted by experts, and those experts have found that by providing reservation in promotion, the efficiency has increased in railways. And this is a expert by Delhi School of Economics and Michigan University in USA. They both conducted that research and data, and they reported that because of reservation, the efficiency has increased in that railways. So I feel that the efficiency criteria will also have to give and go by. Moreover, even if you examine from the other angle, like for scheduled caste, there are three benchmarks: good, very good, and outstanding. These benchmarks are for scheduled caste, backward class, scheduled tribe, and general or unreserved category. These benchmark for all, and normally there is no relaxation nowadays. Though the Constitution provides for relaxation, the relax standard is not there. Like you have, if you have lower ACR, then you will not get promoted. So if the standard is same, where is the question of not having efficiency, or the efficiency of administration will be jeopardized by the by giving reservation in promotion. So we have to examine from a right perspective, and the equality clause which is given in the constitution in article 14 to 18 has to be read as a whole, because this article 16, particularly article 16.4, 16.4a, 16.4b, and the other clauses of article 16, they are only a express classification provided by the constitution makers or the subsequent legislations. So those are also constituent amendments. So if the constitutional amendment is there and you have approved that amendment, upheld the validity of a constitutional amendment, thereafter you cannot go and see that this is the judgment of the Supreme Court. So we will see the judgment of the Supreme Court, and we will not read the provision of the constitution. And moreover, in the state of Madhya Pradesh, Bihar, and Uttarakhand, they have denied reservation even from Supreme Court, because they say that the present BJP government has said that we don't, this is our discretion. We are not willing to give reservation. Earlier, the Congress government has also taken the same stand. So we have to understand from both angles. Congress and BJP, they are both Brahminical party, and the leadership in them, they do not want that the socially marginalized section people, they should rise in the ladders. And that's why during the 2014 elections, the General Secretary of the Congress party, that Janardhan Dwivedi, in the mid of the election, he said that there should be no reservation in promotion, and reservation should be restructured. So it means they are not in favor of SC/ST voting for the Congress, because they, when during election, when you are saying this, it means that the mindset of these people are of a different nature. And I feel that we have to understand this. Like in Rohtas Bhankar versus Union of India, there was a case by 5 judges of the Supreme Court, but we are referring it to the different benches. But even that case doesn't get notice. Like BK Pavitra, this Rohtas Bhankar was decided in 2014. Initially, when it started, the bench was against, but Justice Chalmeswar, he was part of the bench. Then he explained to the Chief Justice R.M. Lodha, and thereafter, then they changed their mind, and finally the judgment came in our favor. So, if a judgment come from 5 judges in our favor, even they don't want to see that judgment, because the judiciary is not effectively represented. And even if we get an opportunity, we are also behaving in the same fashion. So secondly, after 1981 census, there has been no increase in the reservation percentage. After 1981 census, 91 census, 2001 census, and 2011 census, 30 years have passed, and there is no change in the representation of the scheduled caste and scheduled tribe and backward classes, because the reservation which was available at that time, it is still existing. So their population has increased, and at least 5% should be added to the existing 5 or 6% to the existing reservation percentage. And the migrated scheduled caste and migrated scheduled tribe, all those criteria are applied, because if you suppose you are from Haryana and you settled in Noida, then you will not be treated as a scheduled caste. If you are from Uttar Pradesh, you settled in a Gurgaon, so you will not be treated as a scheduled caste. So the population percentage is also decreasing because of all these concepts, and these concepts are artificial concepts just to deny representation to the members of the scheduled caste and scheduled tribe. And I feel that the only thing which will change the situation is that we should demand that there should be reservation in promotion for backward classes, because the whole system will change only afterwards. Because if you see, before the implementation of Mandal, the same way we were not getting the direct recruitment appointments effectively in states, but thereafter the problem is not there to that extent. So the whole issue which we have to examine is that what is the constitutional principles on which the court should decide it. Constitutionally, Nagraj and Jarnail Singh even, because Jarnail Singh just say that social backwardness criteria will not apply, but at the same time has decided in a way that the creamy layer principle will be applied. So creamy layer and social backwardness are the same thing, because in Mandal they have understood it as a same principle. But because in Mandal, when they say that this is a social backwardness criteria and it will not be applied to scheduled caste and scheduled tribe. When I argued this in Suresh Chand Gautam, and then subsequently Madam also supported in this Madhya Pradesh and Bihar and other cases, and because of her active support, these were referred to a constitution bench. So I am grateful to Madam for her support in this subject. Otherwise, perhaps we were just arguing, and even these issues would not have been noticed by the court. Secondly, I feel the requirement of data is not the requirement under the constitutional scheme, because if you apply the classification principle, then the constitutional right is evolved, and if you apply the constitutional right, then in that case the requirement of data efficiency, that will automatically go. That's why we are trying that the this Nagraj judgment should be again referred to a larger bench, and till that is referred to larger bench and it is decided by a larger bench, this problem will not be sorted out. Because in Maharashtra, in Chhattisgarh, and other states like Bihar, in these states, the data is much less, and in spite of having lesser data, the states like Maharashtra is still ruled by a Congress, is also a lie in that. Chhattisgarh is fully ruled by Congress, and this Bihar is by Nitish and BJP. So in the last 2 3 weeks, they have decided, or they are saying that we will promote only the unreserved category candidates. And the same thing, like when this Uttarakhand was ruled by the Congress, Congress has done the same thing in Uttarakhand, and have not given this reservation in promotion to the Uttarakhand, and thereafter the whole game was recycled. And I feel till the whole principle is strike out, the principle which we require to be reinstated will not be effectively changed. And we have to understand it in a constitutional principle, in a constitutional manner, because the Nagraj judgment is by 5 judges and Indra Sani is by 9 judges. Whatever is settled by the Indra Sani, and the constitutional amendment has not taken place on that aspect, that aspect will be binding on the court. And that is the reason that this Jarnail Singh has said that in para 36 of Jarnail Singh, that the social backwardness criteria will not apply, but we are not referring to the larger bench, because the other issues we have to strike only one issue to show that this Nagraj is incorrect. But the other issue, every issue you can't argue in the in first time that this is the principle which they are violating. That's why I feel that all these principles should be recasted. But again, I have a feeling that till the reservation for backward classes is there in the promotions, the problem is not going to be sorted out. That is my personal feeling. And this problem we have to understand from the positive sense. And moreover, the backward classes are not represented in the higher echelon of the services. And if in the higher position they are not there, they are also required, like in South India, in some states, like maybe in Kerala, Tamil Nadu, some representation maybe of the backward classes. But when you come to the North India and Central India, the representation of backward classes is almost negligible. And that is the reason that these principles are being invoked, and they want to apply creamy layer to the SC/ST also. What is the creamy layer to the ST/ST? When their person who could rise up to the level of President of India, and even he is facing social discrimination. So who should get the protection? If a President of India is not getting constitutional protection, and in that situation, I have a feeling that the condition of the socially and educationally during their marriage procession, they are not allowing even to the backward classes. The Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh, when this Yogi Adityanath, but when a OBC was occupying that house, even at that time it was purified. It reflects that the scheduled caste and backward class, they are so much than if scheduled caste and backward.
Sir, cannot hear, sir.
So, sir, I have written a book recently in March, and it was released uh, by the former Vice President, Honorable Sri Hamid Ansari. Madam was also part of the release function. So, in that, I have specifically put the issue that the reservation for backward classes should be there, and the other rights like this reservation rights also. I have dealt with the specific, and Indra Sani case, which is by a larger bench of 9 judges, that cannot be upset by a smaller composition of judges. In 5 judges, say in Nagraj, M. Nagraj versus Union of India, which was decided in 2006, and Jarnail Singh versus Lakshmi Narayan Gupta, which was decided in 2018, because these judgments have basically dealt with that there are limitations on the rights of the scheduled caste and scheduled tribe for availing reservation in promotion. If this issue was there and it has been decided by the Indra Sani case, only the issue which was upset by the parliament is because in Indra Sani they have said there will be no reservation in promotion. So the other issues which were decided by Indra Sani, all Indra Sani was not against us. The Indra Sani was a good judgment, but because of the mindset they have decided, even Justice MD, he was part of the bench, and he was with Justice Jeevan Reddy for that 4 judges. But on this aspect, he has said, I feel that there is the question relating to reservation in promotion is not there in these proceedings. So I am not deciding on this aspect. So that's why I have specially acknowledged him in my book, because he has taken a stand in the Indra Sani case that this reservation in promotion issue was not there before the court. So the basic issues which we have to debate, which we have to understand, is that the issue which is decided by a constitutional court of larger composition, that composition has to be taken care of. Like in after PK Pavitra, there should have been no chance of all these problems which we are facing, because in para 121 of this BK Pavitra, the Justice Chandrachud has referred to para 741 of this Indra Sani case, which says this is a constitutional classification. So that view he has borrowed from Indra Sani, and after that view's reinstatement, there should have been change in the court's thinking, but because the mindset of the adjudicatory authorities is also very relevant, and these issues, when we point out before the court, even these issues are not noticed by the relevant persons, relevant judges. So that is the problem which we are facing. And there is a judgment by the Supreme Court in a Gujarat cooperative matter, because the cooperative for cooperative there was a constitutional amendment, and Vipul Bhai M. Chaudhary versus Gujarat cooperative is the case decided by Justice Kurian Joseph, and he has given a wonderful principle. He has said that if the constitution or a statute has a principle, has evolved a principle, that principle should be made applicable to the by the legislature, and the legislature is bound to change, or the authority which is deciding a principle is bound to follow the constitutional or statutory principle. But in the cases of reservation, they are not following it, and it is only because of Justice Kurian Joseph that this was referred to the Constitution bench. Otherwise, perhaps it would not have been even referred to the Constitution bench. And the whole issue which we are debating is to adhere the settled principle of Indra Sani. If you want to change Indra Sani's principle, then you expressly change it in 11 judges, not by the 5 judges bench. That's why I feel that in the whole process, we have a feeling that there are two kind of remedy. The first remedy is to review Indra Sani case, and the second remedy is to amend the constitution to provide reservation in promotion for writing other backward classes, or now they have given other definition is socially and educationally backward classes, by putting article 342A in the constitution. So you have to give them also reservation in promotion. If you give them reservation in promotion, then perhaps all these problems could be sorted out, because they are also not adequately represented, so they are also necessarily required to be placed in the higher positions. That is my feeling, and I feel that this efficiency and adequacy, which I have already stated, because this Sabharwal case has decided post-based would be applicable, and the post-based reservation has been applied everywhere after that. In every state, post-based reservation is applied by way of post-based roster. So if that roster is made applicable, the post not filled up from the scheduled caste, scheduled tribe, or backward classes, because the reserved posts have to be filled up from them only. So the backlog must be filled up. Otherwise, there are pile up of backlog, and about 8 lakh vacancies in the central government which were unfilled. They have been scrapped after Modi has come to power, and there is no effort to fill up the backlog vacancies, which is a constitutional requirement after the enactment of Constitution 81st Amendment Act 2000. So I feel that the third alternative is to apply the Indra Sani principle, which is already in existence, because Indra Sani by 6 judges have decided that this is a constitutional classification, and if it is a constitutional classification, the constitutional classification cannot be altered by a smaller composition. So if you are not referring it to larger bench, this Indra Sani case, if you are not referring it to larger bench, in that case you have to apply the settled principle, and in that case the principles which are existing as on today. Those principles must be followed by the legislature or the executive authority drafting the reservation policies, and the courts should also follow a reasonable behavior by following their larger bench judgments, because the judgment which is decided by a larger bench should be followed. If you are not following larger bench judgment, then there is a problem in the constitutional governance, and in a democracy, every section of society must be represented. So I feel that these three type of criteria, if we follow, then the situation would change. And with this, I think there are other speakers also, and the time is limited. So I'm concluding here, and I'm once again thankful to Professor Mohan Gopal and Madam Indra Jai Singh. With this, I'm grateful to each one of you for thank you.